So it happened again. A hyperfixation, as old as time, resurfaces again. And with it, a lot of new people are learning about this game, Incredibox. And I've seen a lot of discussion talking about like, oh, these new people have no idea what Incredibox is. They're thinking other mods are like the official stuff. And I thought, well, why not just tell them what Incredibox really is about? So, this video I will cover about what is Incredibox, its impact, and the fandom itself that has a lot of good content creators. And the first part to cover is the gameplay. If you've seen the mods or original game, you know the basics. You drag a character icon into one of the slots usually called polos, and they start playing a pre-made beat. And the entire gimmick of the game is to just combine all the beats together to form a song. When it comes to the original game, you could also combine certain beats and melodies to make together, well, to unlock a certain cinematic as a reward. And that would be pretty much the basics: icons, polos, slots, and beats and melodies. So now you might be wondering, how did all of this begin? It all started in 2006 when Alan, Romain, and Paul decided to just like combine their skills to create a flash game. You know? Remember flash games? You could play those in your browser and they were extra fun? Yeah, Incredibox started as one before having a release on Steam. And eventually, after creating the game, by 2010 they will actually start their company. So far so good. Great name, by the way. And they turned Incredibox into a professional project, which on the long run was worth it. They will eventually release Little Miss, one of my favorite versions of the game. And it was like Incredibox got so popular, not only did it crash their website because there were like 700,000 people trying to enter at the same time, Incredibox also became one of the most searched words in Google by that time, which is a huge achievement if you're like making something like a project that you're like happy about. And as time came along, they kept making more versions and more bonuses for the game, and it has become like a staple of internet culture. Like a good amount of people know about Incredibox, and a lot of people enjoy it. Look at that! Think, no wait, 15 years later, and the Incredibox fandom is still a thing. Now, before I move to talking about fandoms, I need to mention two things. And that's the impact that Incredibox actually has on people. Because, believe it or not, a lot of schools actually use the game for teaching students about like creativity and music theory, I believe. Like, if you go into some of the YouTube comments of their videos, there is actually people mentioning how their art teachers will like make them play this game. And I can see why, you know? You learn about beats, you learn how to combine music, and it's just such a good way to learn about music theory. Like, sure, you're not going to get away with just the beats together, but you can learn how beats work. And once you know the basics, you can try to make your own beats, and then make your own music. And all thanks to Incredibox, who teach you how combining sounds can make melodies. Oh, and the second thing I want to talk about is how good each version is. Like, all of them hold together one thing: the beats and melodies are like beatboxing. But each one of them is like so different and unique. We got Brazilian culture, culture from India, cyberpunk, 90s pop with Kitty. Like, all of them are unique in their own way, and that's something I love about Incredibox. And do you know there was actually an Incredibox M&M? Yeah, the fucking candy. I learned about this today making this essay. What do you mean there's Incredibox M&M? Alright, I'll clear. Not that everyone knows what Incredibox really is about. It's time to talk about the fandom. which I actually deeply enjoy myself. Sure, there's like, okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's go by steps. First is all the mods that people make based on Incredibox. So many good artists, both musical and 2D, they work hard on making these mods, and each one of them it's glorious in their own way. And there is a very good amount of mods out there. You probably have seen some like Static, Arena Joe, Sprunky. Oh, Mustard! I cannot get over Mustard. I love that one. The, like, because of Mustard, I both learned of like do the part, the song, and Uncle Samsonite, which oh, watching that with Dave was a fucking trip. I'll give it this to like the Uncle Samsonite creators. That's a really good series. I was just not prepared for it. Okay, let's go back to Incredibox. So yeah, there is a very huge amount of mods in this fandom, and honestly, I wonder if they're almost easy to make. I mean, it cannot be that hard, right? Okay, probably is. I can imagine how I can actually imagine how hard it is. But the thing is that the fandom is pretty much alive. You should always check out mods. You never know when you're going to find one that has like such a good melody and beat, and even more the art style. A lot of mods usually like derive out of the original Incredibox art style. It makes the mod feel more personal to the creator, like their vision on how they made the mod. I mean, there is nothing wrong with using the original art style. The polos are like very unique. So, now that you know the Incredibox is the original source and father to all the mods, you should just enjoy yourself. I don't know, make art of the characters, interact with the fandom of your favorite mod, try to make your own mix. A lot of people on YouTube will like make their own and upload it, which is something that people used to do in the past. There was an option to record and post your mix in the app itself, and other people could rate it. I honestly, personally, probably going to make a Sprunky mix. I like the cowboy and the cultist, they're pretty nice. So, my last words, go play the original game. It's only $5 on Steam. I say it's totally worth it. And make sure to support like content creators of Incredibox. They deserve a lot. And remember to not support content farms. Do not support those. Those are like the enemies of the state. Oh, and very lastly, in the comment section, tell me about your favorite mod and what you like about the fandom. I would like to hear what other people think about it.